A pleasant good evening to you all. I am Shane Harris, and we welcome you to the final episode of Shane Harris Tonight in the month of November. We only have 3 more to go, and that's all in December. And next week it is American Thanksgiving, so it's fitting for myself to not have any videos next week. Because, everybody should be gathered around at a table and maybe watching a great game of football. Now, this year was complete hell, as you may have read on my community tab. Because, let's face it, I lost my father, I conceded to the election, my Penguins suck, and we got the lowest finishing position average driver in Joey Logano winning the championship. Great driver, he deserves it, but the system is heavily flawed. And of course, NASCAR officials are going to say, oh, it's not gimmicky, and they'll roll along with it. But here we are. This year was a mess. But you know what is not a mess? A Canadian cartoon from 2008. I give to you Jimmy Two Shoes. A very, very wacky cartoon that is, well, literally off the rails from start to finish. As you can see on this little promotional poster, we have our main trio in question. Corey Doran is Jimmy Two Shoes, of course, the titular character. A happy-go-lucky guy who gets sent down to Miseryville, which is basically a PG equivalent of hell, for no apparent reason. The reason is not explained, since this is an episodic comedy instead of a storyboard-driven drama. He has to tag along with a resident named BZ, who happens to be a little cuckoo. He is a character done by Brian Froud, and he does have to deal with a very suspicious little girl named Heloise, played by Tabitha St. Germain. Yes, the same Tabitha St. Germain who plays Jennifer Shope on Super Noobs. But this time, instead of having a whole bunch of smarts, it's Heloise who's a bit rude against Jimmy, but she apparently loves him behind his back. And we and Jimmy don't know about it. You'll love the amount of out-of-context things this show has. I saw a YouTube video which had like a 4-minute duration calculating all the out-of-context quotes and visuals. It's amazing. And for something that aired in 2008 to 2009 and produced in Canada by Breakthrough, it says a lot. Now you may be wondering, how did I end up talking about this series? Well, again, with most Canadian cartoons I've been watching as of late, you have to go on Fox's Tubi service. Or in some cases, NBC's Peacock streaming service. They have all the episodes there. And you may be wondering, was there a pilot? Well, there was screenshots of a pilot, but there is no full pilot found on the internet. Initially, Jimmy was supposed to be wearing like tan and brown, and hell was literally supposed to be hell. But when the series was pitched, they told the producers to tone it down and make it all wacky. And hence the reason why you see Jimmy wearing lime green and white for his shirt and Converses on the bottom. So, there's all the regular info I know about the series. But there is always one villain in this series, Lucius Heinous VII, an authoritarian figure played by Sean Cullen. You'll love his plankton-like attitude. But you just don't want to like him because he's that rude. Yes, that's very true, because I did watch this during the pandemic, and he is a great villain. So, is there plenty of good fan art? Of course there is. DeviantArt has a lot of positive ones, and also there is a lot of appreciation from the Living Blue Jay here on YouTube, who does do a few AMVs of Jimmy Two Shoes, otherwise known as Jimmy Cool Overseas. And you may be wondering, did this show come to DVD? Well, yes it did. If you live in the United States or Canada, you would get the 2013 Phase 4 DVD, which contains like 2 different volumes, both of which are half and half of Season 1. One of them contains the extended theme music, either from Season 1 or 2. And unfortunately, based on YouTube uploads, I don't know which one. So I just gotta pray that I gotta pray it's Season 2, because I really love Season 2's theme compared to Season 1. That's a fact. So, you may be wondering, how else can you support the show? Well, it is very simple. Watch the series on streaming through Peacock or Tubi here in the United States. And I believe it does have a running channel on Peacock, which is good. There you go. Got a 5-minute time limit on the remote thing before it switches to like a mode, or a little mode that's sort of like a DVD bounce around icon, sort of. Yeah, arrest mode, that's it. Arrest mode, yeah. And for myself, if there was only one complaint about the series, well, the answer is simple. Why did he end up here? Why did he end up in Miseryville? That's an answer we will never know. So, keep dreaming, folks. Keep dreaming. Anyway, the animation is flawless for 2008. And that's about it for this series. It didn't get much viewership in terms of, like, Nielsen numbers here in America, because it was given terrible time slots. But the fans and critics loved it. But of course, when you're on Disney XD, you have to deal with Phineas and Ferb and Lab Rats and all that. So, yeah, it was very stiff competition. And oh yeah, and forget about Kick Buttowski. I will do a video on him next year, because Jimmy Two Shoes ran until like around 2010 in the United States in terms of like reruns or so. But don't worry, I'll get to that. And speaking of next year, we will begin next year in Italy with a show called Egyxos. EGYXOS. A 2015 epic. One that actually feels like something from the late 2000s. Check it out if you can. And it does have an English dub, so watch a little bit of that before I kick off the new year of Shane Harris Tonight in the first Friday of January. As we head into December, we got 3 episodes to go. We got a 2-parter. The first Friday in December is Miles from Tomorrowland Season 1 and 2. The next Friday after that is Miles Season 3, aka Mission Force 1. And the final episode of the year will be a trip to France with Code Lyoko. So we got to end the year and start a new year in Europe. So, gotta love the lineup that's coming your way here on Shane Harris Tonight. Anyway, I'm Shane Harris. Hope you enjoy American Thanksgiving. I hope you enjoy the rest of the NFL season that's still to come. And I'll see you then. Till then, a pleasant adieu from us here on Shane Harris NJ.